Welcome to another episode of Yan and Yoke with JEOO, the space for calm, honest conversations about life, culture, identity, and the journey of becoming. I'm your host, Jamal Usao UK Obaseki, and today I am sitting with Paul Lena, an entrepreneur based in Kaduna. He's the founder of Rush Foods, 52 Promises Card Game, and the mind behind Not Outside. This conversation isn't just about logos, it's about why we exist. Guys, let's jump right to the conversation. Polena, thank you for being here with me today. Let's briefly talk about Polena before business, before Rush Foods, before the card games, before the event. Who was Polena?
Thank you so much. So, now thinking about it, I was just a playful person. Yeah, so I am very strong on people playing. I've always been a child with a free mind and play. Based on my play, I get all of the fulfillments, achievement, and all whatever I actually do. So I will tell myself like,
Tell me about Rush Foods, but not the Polish story, not the ones you tell me. Just go real with me.
all right. So Rush Fruits was birthed also in the platform of, just like I said. Yeah, so a friend of mine came back from a wedding one day and said she didn't get jollof rice from the wedding. And I just jokingly said something very casual. I said, imagine if um, this scenario where you didn't get, but there was a place where you could buy. And then we laughed about it. And I told her I might just, work something around. And barely 2 months later, I made a trip. And in that trip was when the idea was vetted and I met my co-founder. And by 1st October 2018, Rush became live.
But when you started Rush Food,
Yeah.
what did it represent to you emotionally?
It was, I think it met my childhood desire because while I was younger, if you asked me who I wanted to be, I would tell you I wanted to be an inventor. But I didn't know specifically what I wanted to invent. I just knew that I just wanted to create, I wanted to invent. For my younger brother, he would straight up tell you he wanted to be a pilot. He was defined. But for me, if you ask me, I wanted to like invent. So by the time Rush was invented, for me, I felt like I had invented something out of nothing and made me a creator. And it was a profound moment for me.
So Rush Food wasn't just about food for you, it was about also independence.
Yeah, it was greatly about independence because I wasn't in the food business, I was in the food business. Yes, because in interaction, if you even go to our page on Instagram, you find out that we purely post about our foods, post the experiences, the smile that the customer gets from satisfaction. So we understood from day one that we were basically in a business process and not necessarily just in the business. So you can get it great with your food, the recipe and all that. But how do you deal with the customers? And that's where we come in. The experience was key for us. And I think that's why we sustained it and we built a culture and a movement called the Russians. So
Russians.
yeah, I'm sure you know what.
Tell me about a thing that almost broke you while running Rush Food.
Okay. Look, so many days in the life of an entrepreneur that we will feel bad. But I think I have two major highlights in a food cart, and then we'll move into brick and mortar because the original idea for Rush Food was to serve affordable food to busy and spontaneous people. Daily, we were selling between 250 to 300 bucks before we moved into the bistro. But by the time we got to the bistro, the highest we sold in a year, in a full year, was 80 bucks in a day. So every other day was below 80. So imagine that heartbreak. And that was because we stepped out of our why.
You won't say it's because of the economy.
It wasn't the economy. We stepped out of our idea.
So, what did building Rush Food teach you that school never prepared you for?
Start me.
Start.
Lean.
Wow.
Always start very small. Because the moment you start lean, your falls are not heavy. You can maintain and curtail your fall. But if I give you a huge sum to just have a business and start, you are most likely to flop. But when you start small, you will learn all through the process and it becomes beautiful. So the end isn't the goal, the process, the journey is it for us.
If you could redesign education for young people today, what would you add from your experience?
Play. I would want more people to play. I'm very serious on it. One of the things that has made us um, step out of design is that the designer himself, who is the creator of God, wanted us as a manufacturer and we his product to be childlike. Now, mine, just understand my word, I didn't say childish, was childlike. Now, you see, it call you the children of God, but child. So it means maintain that childlike behavior. Now, it now makes you want to understand who is a child and what are the characteristics of a child. A child doesn't need to ask you who you are, where you work to bond with you. He just needs to play. A child is not asking for equality, it just flows. So if you understand this, a child is just created, just catches, doesn't even know what mistake is. But when we start growing up and thinking we're outgrowing our childlikeness, that's when we now start putting principles, boundaries, and all that makes us not really fit into the design as design.
2 promises card game feels very different from food. What's the story that led to creating it?
Upwards. So behind the scene of this interview, we spoke about um, getting busy and getting out of the world system. And so I said you could inflict yourself with a job that could get you busy around the clock, right? So it was exactly what happened to us at Grassroots. We were working to place our our employers who were our customers, right? But at some point, I was asking myself, was this why I was created? The why again. So I always start with why. So in search of the why, that which meant in search of me, um, I needed to find God, and in God I found me, and in Him I found purpose. So by the time I found purpose, I knew that there was more for me to do. Now I wanted to write uh, a book on love because I felt like love and identity, like knowing oneself, goes synonymous. Because if I don't know you, I can't love you. So it means if I don't know myself, I can't love myself, right? So I understood love very well, and I wanted to like translate it into writing. But at some point, too, because I'm a very playful person, I didn't want to spend that much time in just writing a book that people would not read because of the attention span right now. So I decided to, write again so that I could help couples strengthen up and understand love in the simplest way. So it's true.
That means the game was something you actually needed for yourself first.
Yes, for myself because I saw myself in it and I still see myself in it, and then because um, I am loving my neighbor just as I love myself, so I needed to do it for my neighbor because I do it for myself.
Creating the game changed how you communicate with people now.
So let me on what angle are you asking that?
When if because the game is about love.
Yeah, sure.
So we will ask if it has improved how you communicate in your love life or how you even try to get someone to be in a relationship.
Yeah, it does. It does heavily. I think generally in humanity, I understand how to deal with humans now. I I am sharpening myself to be able to tell my story and fulfill my purpose by building a 10,000 community to rebuild our world. And now to do this, it means that I need to understand how humans work and how humans think and all that. And unfortunately, we're fighting the third world war, which is our digital consumption. And so to beat that, I am building a community that will be able to bond once more as humans, love once more as humans, and be able to relate once more as humans. Because unfortunately, the phone tells us that they connect us, but what they practically do is disconnect us as physical humans and connect us with virtual people.
So let's move to your event.
All right.
When I tried to explore the North Outside,
Yeah.
I think I saw something that struck me. It said, "Welcome to North Outside, where we inspire you to explore, connect, and play." And you've been very keen on playing. So I wanted to tell me about the first event you ever hosted on the North Outside.
My first event, not outside, was I think the Cardinal Game Fiesta, and it was beautiful. I wanted one goal, so my KPI for the event was simple. I didn't want people on their phone at my events. I wanted them to engage. So I did an event where people were engaged in playing games all through the 4 hours that I kept them. And in the pictures that were taken randomly, it appeared. In most events, when you go these days, and you see the pictures, the aftermath pictures, you see people on their phone. But I was able to create games that would keep people engaged and connect as humans, laughter and all that was better.
Did you do you feel like the northern Nigeria lacks peace or something like this?
It does heavy.
So how can the government help in promoting and making sure that this can be done in place?
Okay, this is my perception of the government. I am the government, you are the government. Government is no entity. It just requires me, you, and every other random person to do. Because if I get a seat tomorrow, it does not make me a government. I am the government now. What is government? To control, so to govern a mentality, govern government to govern a mentality. So if I am doing a game that governs a mentality to tell people to come connect, then I am a government. So I understand where you're coming from to say where does government. So I think I need to be able to do what I need to do. Then the official government can now be into.
When you talk business, what is it about the community you want to do? Is it about community or is it just business for you?
It's not just business for me, it's community. For me, I don't want to live where I was vetted the same way I vetted. So if Narai, let's say I was born in Narai, I wasn't born in Narai anyways, but let's say I was born in Narai, I don't want to live Narai the same way I get Narai. So what it means for me is basically to be able to transform Narai to be better than I met it. Yeah, so that is why I said we're building a 10,000 human community to rebuild our world.
Running multiple ventures comes with pressure. Tell me about the season when money stress really everywhere.
So for me, money isn't always in me. It's satisfaction. Like my my KPI I told you was to see that people were able to exactly so yeah.
Looking at Nigeria's economy,
I'm very hopeful. Very, very hopeful. You don't necessarily need to do this. You don't need to shake the entire world. You just need to shake just a piece of the world, and the entire world will feel the impact.
what opportunities do you currently see young
Human, humans. We're over 240 million people. Right? Imagine if everybody has $1. That's $240 million. Imagine if you can get it fast enough. So every human is $1. Can I get $1 from you today? Can I get $1 from you today? Can I get $1 from another person today? So how many people can you get $1 from?
There are a lot of young people who want to go into the food business, doing events, but most of them are scared. From your experience in the journey, what do they misunderstand about entrepreneurship?
Okay. Um, Entrepreneurship is basically bridging the gap, and nobody has the full blueprint on how it works. You only just need to get into the ring and be confident enough and have the audacity to get it loose and works
So what should they prepare for emotionally?
emotionally. It would be inconsistency with your emotions, especially when KPI is not good and disappointment from people. But I think it varies. I'm trying to pinpoint mine now, and I would basically just say the everyday life, the ups and downs of the day is one thing that I expect.
What will you tell someone that's starting without money?
All you did is you, but at some point you need to scale it. That's when I understood it. But at first, your mindset. What are you learning? What are you unlearning? And what are you relearning? If you get it right in your heart, you've crushed it. I keep saying it, and it makes me sound very proud. But I like to say I'm proud always. That if you keep me in an island I will find my way out with nothing. I don't even need data. I will skill. Now this is it. I keep saying it that I don't need internet to actually be well. I can bet you Ed rice on Sunday, right?
Yes, I do.
So did I, and so did so many Nigerians and Africans. Now, did you think he needed the internet to go viral? He needed humans because someone did it first, told someone else, and that person traveled somewhere else. So I believe in humans that I ever would believe that.
What advice would you give to the youths?
To the youth, find yourself. Find yourself. If you find yourself, that's all. And you find yourself. It's key for me. Like, go in search of yourself. If you find yourself, find purpose. If you will become fruitful. You know where you should be. That tree is there. It doesn't need to be outside. It gets every nutrition from its source. So find your source. Find your origin story.
What do you think is the easiest way for a person to find purpose?
I like this. Go back to the manufacturer. An iPhone cannot function like a Samsung. Sorry, I'm advertising. I shouldn't have caused that. But an iOS will not, function like an Android. And that is because the manufacturers have branded themselves or their thoughts or their mindset it needs to function the way it does. So who designed you? Who is your manufacturer? Who is your creator? God. So it means he has branded you. That is why he said I created you in my image and likeness, right? So that you will become like me. So the fruits you should yield should be like him. Now you now ask, what are his fruits? What are his characteristics? If he's a king, then I'm a king. And if he's a king, kings are excellent. And I should be excellent. And that is why you are dressed excellently. Kings protect their territory. So I should protect my territory and protect my business, and protect my family. So it goes on and on. So it might so find your creator. In him you will find yourself will find him. That's the process.
Elena, thank you for sharing not just what you built, but also why you built them. Before we end, I would like you to say to our audience, you're watching and listening to Yan and You with JEOO.
You're watching and listening to Yan and Yo with JEOO.
And I'm your host, Jamal Fusa Oyuki Obaseki. If you enjoyed this episode, share it, tag us, and stay tuned for more real conversations. Until next time, keep yanning, keep growing, and keep building. Thank you. God bless the youth of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. God bless Nigeria.